So, you want to learn how to use Lillith, the champion that's an emo vampire girl that has the same haircut as Jessie from Team Rocket? Well, say no more, I'm here to help you right here and now. We have her first ability, her main attack, which simply put throws a small red projectile dealing some significant damage. Although weakened by Curse the Core talent, it's still easy enough to finish any squish in 4 to 5 hits. One important thing is to not be scared in case a flank or damage tries to flank you. You have a big amount of HP and your damage is enough to contain against them, so you hit them back, don't let them bully you. Also, while doing that, try to have someone marked to regenerate your blood bar, or even ult if the moment is right. Don't ult at the last second of a round if they cannot push, or something like that, okay? Her second ability is almost the same as his Jenos mark, but more powerful. Every tick the heal increases. At a certain point you deal over 500 HP per tick, which is an immense amount. Try to have someone marked all the time to regenerate your blood bar. I advise you to use it on a teammate since you cannot kill anyone with the mark, even if it's a 1 HP enemy. Her third ability is like a maldamba god, an AoE ground type healing ability that also damage enemies in it. The more you charge it, the more it heals and damage entities in it. It's also very expensive to get, so it's advised not spam with them like an idiot if you don't have your ult, or if you're sure no one will flank you when you're low HP at that time. One tip is that you should cause the swarm in strategic places that you know your teammates will step upon. For example, you know your point tag will touch the point, so drop a swarm there to keep him alive at the beginning of the match. Her fourth ability is her movement ability, named Death Wings. It's a big jump, mostly vertical, that costs a mediocre amount of blood bar HP, and it's used to get into good positioning, mostly high ground to be able to heal teammates easier since your vision will be in a better spot. One important tip is not use the mobility in front of all enemies in the open since they will just shoot you off from the air. It's better even if you walk it off. You should use the mobility to dodge attacks from a flank, for example. I will show an example how I jump in the face of a flank and dodge a dangerous positioning to be able to escape. Last but not least, her fifth ability, her ultimate, Blood Moon. It's a buffing ultimate. It gives your team pure lifesteal unaffected by cauterize or anti-heal, what we call it. It also gives you speed boost, jump boost, and most importantly, blood bar regeneration, which will help you tremendously and be almost impossible to kill. One tip is that although you see a lot of people using it early at the beginning of a point fight, you should use it when you're low HP to ensure your survival and to be able to get your blood HP back to heal your team in need, or in case you're hard flank and need to survive. Now that we're done with the basic abilities, we should start with the talents or legendaries, however you want to call them. First we have Murderous Intent, which simply put makes your main attack pierce enemies and it gives bonus damage per entity pierce. Although viable and still decent to use, you will be mostly low HP because you won't get any cost reduction on the abilities like on Curse Accord, so you may be poked and flank easier if you don't have your ult. But in exchange you will get your ults faster and you won't get the damage reduction. As long as you're up for the risk, you're free to use this talent. For her second talent we have Maelstrom of Carnage, in which you give up on your position and your team position to be able to heal them with a consistent healing on Swarm. You become a Groover type healing AoE and with a mark. It's very risky to use this talent and it's mostly viable on small maps like Bright Marsh or small point maps like Ice Mines, otherwise you will have a hard time to heal your team as they need to be close to you. If not, you can only heal them with a mark, which will make the healing output very small and your team will have a hard time to survive with that. Now for her last talent, Curse Accord, which I recommend the most to use most of the time. You sacrifice part of your damage in exchange for a tremendous amount of healing output and cost reduction for your abilities. You will be mostly full HP at all times, and of course because it's Lillith you will still be able to get around 3 to 4 ults per round. If you do good, the flanks will have a harder time to poke you since you don't expend as much blood as you do with other talents to use your abilities, and in any case you will still have your ult ready to be used if you survive a lot, which I think you will with so much blood HP and so much cost reduction, make you a monster to kill for flanks. And also, even though the damage is not as powerful as it is with the other talents, it's still enough to contend with flanks and pose a threat to them. So don't be scared and hit that left button when you're on cooldown of the heal ability, because it's gonna help you to get your ult faster to survive more, and also you help the team damage output there on the point fight or push. Okay, at last I'm going to show you the decks I use. First we have the main deck I use, which is used for both Cursed Accord and also Murderous Intent, as they're with few difference compared to Maelstrom of Carnage. This is the deck I use if I want to use Maelstrom of Carnage to heal, which most likely I won't. But hey, at least it's an option, no? And also this is a controversial thing, but I use this deck for damage with Lillith and using Maelstrom of Carnage with it. It's a little hard, but with practice you can become a literal unit of a champion, and somehow it actually works. You get good damage and even kills. Well, this is kinda all the stuff you need to know about Lillith to be able to play at the very least decent, and get good stats. Don't forget, 10k heal per minute means you did great. Don't get discouraged if others flame you while you play her, cause man, you don't heal me, I need heal, you're so bad. Don't ignore those guys, they're just bad and they're getting annoyed because they do bad and they blame the healer. And instead look at your stats at the scoreboard, because stats do not lie. Well, until next time, bye.